Hi there guys, I hope you are having a good day. Now, ironically, Deontay Wilder called out Dillian Whyte, and that was funny because Dillian Whyte has been chasing Deontay Wilder for years, but now it seems because Deontay Wilder is likely not going to get a rematch with Tyson Fury, or if he doesn't, and he's no longer WBC World Champion, he needs a Dillian Whyte, he needs a big name, so he has called Dillian Whyte for a fight. Now, Dillian Whyte you would expect to say, nah, I'm not fighting him. He didn't give me my opportunity when I deserved it, so I'm not going to give it to him when he definitely does not deserve it. But this is what Dillian Whyte had to say in response to that. Fury is not fighting him, so who else can he make money from? Wilder is not a big draw. It's a fight I'm interested in, but he needs to dance to my tune. So that is very interesting from Dillian Whyte to think that he is interested in this fight. You would think that all of what Deontay Wilder has put him through would mean he wouldn't be, but if you call Dillian Whyte's name, then he will be there ready to fight. That is what is so great about Dillian Whyte. Yes, he did lose his last fight to Alexander Povetkin, but that is going to happen when you take top 10 contenders back to back. That is going to happen, and that is the reason why Dillian Whyte deserves to be in a position of mandatory or getting a world title opportunity, but that has eluded him to date. Now, with regards to a Deontay Wilder fight, I believe that Dillian Whyte should be looking for that WBC World title opportunity, especially if he is able to beat Alexander Povetkin. I don't believe he should be looking at a Deontay Wilder fight, but it would be a big fight considering all of the previous between the two of them. But still, I don't believe Deontay Wilder deserves that opportunity at Dillian Whyte when Whyte is so close to a world title opportunity. If Whyte beats Povetkin, he is WBC Interim World Champion once again. Then hopefully he does get his shot finally at Tyson Fury, or whoever holds the belt by then, whether it be Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, or someone else entirely. I mean, the heavyweight division moves so fast, we don't know what is going to happen next. But clearly Deontay Wilder, if he cannot get Tyson Fury back in the ring, he needs a name such as Dillian Whyte, Andy Ruiz, or someone of that profile because he needs a big name. Now, whether he fights them or not, we don't know, because Deontay Wilder has called certain names, such as Andy Ruiz, Usyk, and Dillian Whyte. Now, he also called Robert Helenius, which is clearly a fight that Deontay Wilder is interested in, but if you put a Robert Helenius versus a Deontay Wilder fight next to a Deontay Wilder versus Ruiz fight or Whyte fight, there is no comparison, so he would be definitely better off going towards someone like Dillian Whyte as opposed to Helenius. But considering his resume, you have to wonder whether he truly does want to fight Dillian Whyte. And with regards to Dillian Whyte saying that Deontay Wilder has to dance to his tune, Wilder is not going to do that. He hasn't done it in the past when he really should. I mean, he was offered a lot of money when Anthony Joshua was a champion and offered him that fight for Undisputed. I mean, his profile was right down low and Anthony Joshua's was skyrocketing, so that split was warranted for Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder, yet he still would not take it because of his ego. So the same would apply in negotiations for a Dillian Whyte fight. So given that, I don't see how the fight can happen. It would be Deontay Wilder who said that he deserves 60-40 in a fight with Dillian Whyte, something like that. He would price himself out. That would be the problem for this fight to ever happen. It would be a good fight if it ever did. I must admit, I do want to see Deontay Wilder in a fight with Dillian Whyte, Alexander Povetkin, or maybe even Andy Ruiz Jr. I want to see him take those fights because those are fights that he hasn't had during his career. Yes, he's fought Luis Ortiz, yes, he's fought Tyson Fury, but other than that, Dominic Breazeale, who else has he fought really? So he does need to fight these top 10 heavyweights if he does want to get back to the position he was before as a champion, because this time around for Deontay Wilder, there are more sharks in the water, there are more tough challenges for him out there. So what he does need to do is prove himself. It's all very well talking about these big fights, it's another thing at taking them. Now, I've previously said I think that he will fight someone like Robert Helenius if he does not fight Tyson Fury, which I don't believe he will. I'm not sure whether he should take that fight, and I'm not sure whether he does want that third Tyson Fury fight. That remains to be seen. It doesn't really matter whether we think he wants it or not. What matters is if the fight actually happens, which I'm starting to believe won't happen. So Tyson Fury will likely go his own way in 2021. So Deontay Wilder needs to think about a plan. Who does he fight for his comeback? It cannot be anyone like Duhalpus or someone like that, like names he's had on his resume before. It cannot be anyone like that. You cannot go from a defeat like the one that he suffered against Tyson Fury then not take the rematch, because there was clearly reasons as to why the rematch did not happen, and he had many opportunities to ensure that fight happened. Injuries, force measures, and things like that prevented it, and it was always Deontay Wilder's team putting back the date. Tyson Fury got fed up with that and moved on. That is the reason why they are in this situation. But considering all of that, he needs a big fight to let everyone know that he is serious in the heavyweight division. If he does not, then he's in no man's land really, because his stock has plummeted, so he's in that who needs him club, because if someone wants to fight him, they don't gain all that much by beating him, and they could lose everything if they lose to him, their position within a governing body, their potential shot at a world title, or something like that. So he's in that club if he does not fight someone of note next, such as Usyk, Andy Ruiz, Dillian Whyte. The clear-cut one would be Andy Ruiz, because Dillian Whyte is tied up with this Povetkin situation, and Usyk is looking for a fight with Anthony Joshua. Joseph Parker is fighting in December also, and will likely be looking for another world title opportunity after that fight, or maybe one fight next. So Deontay Wilder's clear opportunity would be Andy Ruiz Jr., and boy is that a good fight. So maybe that's the one he should be seeking out. They're both on the same platform, so out of all of the fights he has listed, that would be just as easy as the Helenius fight to make. I think that at this stage, the thing that Deontay Wilder needs to do more so than anything else is prove himself. Prove he is the fighter he believes he is, the fighter he has self-promoted himself to be. Prove that he wants to fight the best, because yes, he's had 2 fights with Tyson Fury and 2 fights with Luis Ortiz, but who has he fought other than that? There are many sharks in the water, as I said, many potential opponents that he can fight. Andy Ruiz is right there. That is the fight to make, in my opinion. And then Deontay Wilder can make a claim that he deserves an opportunity at one of the world titles, but that won't happen next year because hopefully Undisputed is going to happen. So no one will get a world title opportunity when Undisputed takes place, because that is for all of the belts in the heavyweight division. Hopefully they are all on the line when that fight does happen. So 2022 would be the opportunity for fighters to start having opportunities again. The best thing fighters like Wilder can do is fight top contenders to ensure they are the top contender to the champion at that point. That is what they should do. The top contenders fight one another to see who gets to fight the undisputed champion. That's the way it should be, and hopefully that's the way it is. And if Deontay Wilder believes he's the fighter he is, then he will do that. Anyway guys, what are your thoughts on this? Make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments below, leave a thumbs up, and subscribe if you are new. Thanks guys.